Zero. Okay. Hello, people. Welcome to Estudly FNL Part 2. Now, I know I promised you all a live stream. This is not exactly a live stream. Okay. We have a very special guest today as well. Okay, first things first. Why is it not a live stream? So when you're watching this, I am not at my place. I am outside. I'm out of station. I might not have a reliable connection and I might not have access to my laptop. So this is why I'm pre-recording it. So if you see the date different from Friday, it's because it's not Friday. Okay, enough chit chat, enough explanation. We have a guest here. This is Fatima from Tajikistan. I'm gonna unmute her and maybe she can say hi.
Hey everyone, such a pleasure to do a recording with you, Aman. So sure it will be fun.
Okay, perfect. Let's get into our stuff. And we'll start with our first story. Now, shortly after we did our Easterly, Friday, there was a Facebook outage. A Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp just stopped working out of the blue. And it was, I mean, we already had a discussion about this, like, why did this happen? But now we have proper articles and all that stuff. So we'll put this down in the description. You can actually go and check. Initially, just to repeat what actually happened, is the internal servers for Facebook, internal DNS servers for Facebook were pointing somewhere else and they were just completely off. Okay. And for that reason, Facebook stopped working. Now it was not just Facebook, everything owned by Facebook or everything under Facebook servers, be it Instagram, be it WhatsApp, stopped working, as well as Oculus, the VR headset. Now, a lot of different websites also stopped working, and that was because they were using a sign-in Facebook feature. Okay, that's where you go to a login page and you just click on sign in, and that's how you log in into that. So maybe this is like a testament to just letting you guys know, always sign in with a user ID and email. I know it's very convenient to sign in with Facebook, sign in with Apple, sign in with Google, but yeah, just sign in with your actual email address and stuff. Okay, I'm just gonna ask Fatima here. Fatima, were you affected by the Facebook, or did you not even notice that? Oh, okay, WhatsApp is down, big deal, that's it. Did you notice?
Oh, actually, I did. I mean, all of my life is now connected to this online stuff and social media because I study online. And it was evening when I had to submit my assignment, like homework from 2 subjects. I had to send it to my friends' WhatsApp numbers, but I was not able to do that. And I was thinking actually that it's a problem with my telephone or I don't know, my internet connection. But then I found out that that was not just me, but the whole world was affected. And I was like so surprised because I do not remember that it happened before.
You actually would be surprised. It's a more common thing. Every month or so, Instagram just decides to not work. But it's a normal local outage usually. A global outage is kind of rare. If you remember last year, in November 2020, what happened is Google stopped working for a good amount of 1 hour. That means you could not access YouTube, you could not access your Google Gmail. That's the main part. Google Docs, Google Maps stopped working. And just imagine you are trying to submit your assignment on Google Docs and Google Docs suddenly just stops working. And just that's how horrible it was. I tried logging in and it just told me that your account does not exist. Now, mind you, our email is connected with a lot of stuff, with our bank accounts, with like our social media accounts, and a lot of other stuff as well, right? And email is kind of a big deal. And so why am I telling you this? It's because outages like these, they show us that how we are dependent on a central entity or a central company. If that one company decides to just turn off their servers next thing in the morning, we're going to have a lot of issues. And last time Ishan, he told us about that, it should be decentralized. Like we should have more peer-to-peer access networks instead of just putting everything on the single server. And I believe his recommendation was Element. It's a matrix client. You can read about it. I'll put in a a few links and stuff, but peer-to-peer communication is where it's at. So yeah, go for decentralization. And yeah, on that note, so we already talked about how, the outage, like, oh, do I need to, okay, I'm not paying money. Okay, so what happened, once again, this is a great article, you can actually check it. I'll put the link down in the description. And that's not what, okay. So there has been a data breach. Okay, data breach, if you don't know, is when some hacker or someone tries to hack a server, and they find all the information about that server. Okay, now if that server is a social media company like Facebook, 1.5 billion Facebook users personal information can get leaked in a data breach. Now that might include a lot of stuff. For example, it might include we talked about data breaches last time, but there's always a new data breach. It might include your full name, your address, your email address, your passwords, and your phone numbers, your gender, your birth dates, your interests, your ad interests, and all that stuff. And believe me, these companies know a lot more about you than you know about yourself. Okay, so this data is usually on the dark web, and hackers try to sell it. Okay, Fatima, have you ever been in a data breach? Do you ever remember being in a data breach? Are you like super secure? Like you have never been in a data breach? Because I've been in 7 data breaches.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, I wasn't, I guess. No.
I bet
Don't
if you
think
go to this one website, haveibeenpawned.com, and if you put in your email address, you will find that you have been in at least 4 data breaches. Like every single person on the internet is literally, they have to have been in this data breach if their email is older than, let's say, 5 or 6 years. So yeah, scary stuff.
I will check.
You should.
Now, after the video, I will check.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, talking about that. Okay, so what happened once again with the, so Facebook data breach? I would suggest, okay, how do you stop this? You cannot stop this. That's the problem with data breaches. Once your information is out there, it's out there. Now, how can you make sure that this doesn't happen, or how can you make sure that you are not hacked? Change your passwords. Okay, have different passwords everywhere. Fatima, do you have different passwords for everything, or do you have the same password?
Being honest, I have exactly like the same password for, I guess, 5 places. I will not say like tell the names, but yeah, they are similar, like exact.
Exactly. Don't be like Fatima. Okay, people
I
get a
will change.
password.
Yeah, don't be like me. I'll just change that. Yeah.
Get a password manager. Bitwarden is really good. What you should do after a data breach, usually whenever a data breach is announced, you should go to that specific server. If you have a Facebook account or not, doesn't matter. You might not have a Facebook account, but you have an Instagram account, right, people? So just go and change your passwords on that places. And if you use the same password everywhere, it's more of a reason to go and just sit one day, sit for 30 minutes, change all the passwords. Now you might be thinking, how do I remember so many passwords? Like I'm logged into at least 10 different websites. That's why you use a password manager. Like as much as I hate Google Chrome's inbuilt password manager is better than nothing. Okay, so just use that save password to Google feature, because that's better for your security, at least, if not for privacy. So yeah, think about that. While data breaches is on, Twitch had a really huge data breach as well. Twitch is a game streaming platform where people go to watch games, where they watch their favorite streamers, and there is a lot of stuff. This is just part 1 of the data breach. That's what's believed at this point. But yeah, it included a lot of stuff. It included the entire code for twitch.com. It included payouts for creators, like how much Twitch actually pays to the creators. It's an entire controversial thing. But yeah, I don't think many people know about Twitch, or maybe many people not connected to gaming do not know about this. Fatima, I'd like to ask you, do you know what Twitch is? Have you ever heard of Twitch ever?
I have never, like, first time hearing from you.
Okay. Interesting. So if you had to watch a video, you would go to YouTube, right? Do you have other websites where you watch video? Because there's I mean, TikTok is really famous. TikTok and India has like 7 different versions of TikToks. But okay, do you use TikTok?
Oh, I don't use. I'm not a person of TikTok.
Okay.
I
What
have
about,
nothing against, but I don't use that.
okay, what about Instagram Reels?
Yeah, I use them.
Okay,
Yeah.
so do you make content or do you just sit and browse for like hours and hours? Because that's what I do.
Oh, I guess I do the same as you do,
Fair enough. So yeah, I mean, those are short video platforms compared to YouTube. Twitch is more of like a live stream thing, and it's really famous for people who are gaming, which I believe is my target audience. You guys already know what Twitch is, but yeah, once again, if you have an account on Twitch, change your password, guys. If you were a streamer on Twitch, which many of you were, Twitch already must have changed your streaming key. That's the key that you need for streaming. Change that as well, just to be safe. But yeah, that's the Twitch data breach. And you can actually, once again, I'll put the link down. Please do not ask me if you can have the data breach. I don't have the link for data breach, okay? And once again, it's a data breach. It's illegal to access that. Whatever. There has been a new survey by the Markup. They are actually in need of people who can help them find applications that sell their location. So if you're interested in this, I'll put the link down in the description. Once again, all you have to do is just go there, and I believe there should be a form. All you have to do is you just have to take a screenshot. Like if an application is using location, which it should not. Let's say if you have an application for, let's say you get a calculator, let's say you get a scientific calculator from Play Store. Now that application does not need to know your location, right? So if that's the case, take a screenshot. I believe they will have, okay, so there's an email which is location@themarkup.org. Check them out. I think they are doing some really good privacy related stuff. Okay, moving on. So yeah, once again, the Facebook outage, I believe that's like the main theme. But millions and millions of people went to Signal, which is not surprising. And Telegram actually reported 70 million new users after the Facebook outage. Fatima, do you have a Telegram account? I think you do, right?
Yeah, I do.
How famous Telegram is among your friends? My friends started using Telegram once I started. What about you?
Oh, it's very famous here. I mean, it's more famous than WhatsApp.
Oh, is it? Interesting. So here in India, every single person uses WhatsApp. But in January, WhatsApp messed up with the privacy policy thing. Everyone was so scared. We moved to Signal. Do you know what Signal is? I don't believe you do, right? You might have not heard of Signal.
We don't have that here, I guess. Yeah.
I might have sent you a link about that, but yeah, I don't think it's as much as famous as Telegram. But yeah, Telegram is now like a huge thing. Once again, shameless promotion for my Telegram channel, guys. Telegram.me/Estudely. Links down in the description. We have a channel on Telegram. Just go there. It's a really fun channel. But yeah, Telegram is kind of a huge deal. Now, once again, people, Telegram does not have end-to-end encryption by default. You need to turn it on. Like if you're talking to someone, you need to make a secret chat, and that will have end-to-end encryption by default. Okay. Once again, end-to-end encryption is not enabled on Telegram by default. Signal, on the other hand, is really, really, really good if you intend on talking with each other, or talking with a group of friends or something. Signal is a really great alternative. Telegram is much more of a casual talking place. Okay. One more thing, if you intend on making phone calls, right? If you just want to have a phone call, if you want to replace your normal phone call dialer, Signal phone calls are literally better in quality, better in ping, better in speed than your normal phone call. So that's even better than WhatsApp call. That's even better than Google Duo, and that's even better than Telegram. So I just suggest use Signal for your phone calls, because I believe Signal is an amazing. They have amazing service, even though sometimes laggy, but it's good. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. Is so there has been okay, one second. This is like super technical, but for the tech savvy people, you can actually just go and read this. I believe we lost Fatima to internet troubles. Fatima, when you join back, let us know. Okay, so FSF announces JShelter browser add-on to combat threats from non-free JavaScript. Okay, so what this basically means is every single website that you visit, okay, every single website made after the creation of JavaScript has some JavaScript on it. Okay, that's how you see the animations and all that stuff. Okay, HTML on its own is a very simple protocol. It's a very simple markup language. CSS can style something, but JavaScript is how you can see animations and how you can see, a lot of different stuff that changes based on how you interact with the website. Okay, so Free Software Foundation, they have made up a browser add-on. JavaScript is said to be very insecure, because once again, if I can get the JavaScript to run on your browser, I can basically make your browser do whatever I want. Okay, so JavaScript, you have to keep it enabled most of the times, but sometimes you have to block JavaScript. Tor browser by default blocks JavaScript. So yeah, someone was asking me about Tor today, but yeah, that's it. Moving to the next story. Okay, this is kind of a fun one. Fatima, have you heard of Windows 11? Let's start with that. Do you know what Windows 11 is? I'm assuming you do.
Could you repeat the name? I didn't hear the name
Windows
properly.
11. Windows 11, the operating system.
Yes, sure.
Do you plan on upgrading to Windows 11?
I guess I'm already.
I don't think you are on Windows 11. I don't think so.
I mean, I don't know actually, I'm not tech person, but I mean, generally the answer to your question is yes, I know what that is.
Okay, fair enough. Last time in the last live and on my Telegram channel, I told people not to upgrade because Windows 11 is gonna make everything. It's a good optimization, but right now it has so many bugs and it was just released before like a week. It will make your laptop slower. Okay, and that's if your laptop can actually support it. Good. Don't upgrade it just right now. But yeah. So why am I talking about Windows 11? So the issue is, I believe every time you upgrade or maybe every time there's an update in your Windows 10, what usually happens is that your internet browser, Microsoft Edge, shows up. Okay, I personally hate Microsoft Edge. There are some people like Fatima who actually enjoy using Microsoft Edge. Okay, I don't know why, but it's the default browser by default in Windows, and it's very, very, very difficult to actually change your browser. It's usually like if you had some other browser and if you had to change back to Edge, it's a single click. But if you have to change from Edge to, let's say, Firefox, it will actually take you multiple clicks to just find the option, and it's not very tech friendly. Okay, so there are people who just leave it by default, and that's that's a very anti-competitive behavior from Microsoft. Turns out they take it up a notch further in Windows 11. So what happens in Windows 11 is they actually make it so difficult to change your default browser that you have to go inside the settings and you have to change every setting, and they will every single time prompt you with that, hey, are you sure you want to switch to Firefox? Edge is amazing. And you have to at least make 16 different clicks just to change your default browser. And it's a very annoying process, but this is how difficult Microsoft has made to change your default browser. Now, what's the story about? The story is basically about Brave and Firefox, they decided, Brave browser, once again, amazing. Firefox, amazing. They actually decided to make up an kind of an extension, which actually makes sure that whatever link that you open, it will not by default open in Edge, and instead it will go to whatever browser you want it to go. And that's why I think that's one of the best amazing things they have done. So yeah, that's one of the reasons I hate Microsoft and I hate Windows. Okay, guys, if you have the option, if you have the technology, switch to Linux. Okay, we have like 10, like we literally have 1,000 different OSs. Okay, we have like Linux Mint, we have Opus, we have Ubuntu. There's a lot. Okay, Fatima, thoughts on it, and why do you still use Microsoft Edge? Is what I would believe our viewers would ask if they could. I think she's having internet issues. Fatima, are you back?
Uh, I hear you when you say my name, but I guess I'm frozen.
No worries. That's completely fine. Whenever your internet is properly back, we'll just ask you that question. Moving on to the next stories is Firefox Suggest is now a thing. So basically, whenever you type something in the URL bar, Firefox will by default try to suggest you that, hey, maybe do you want to go to this website? Good for convenience, bad for privacy. So once again, you can actually go ahead and read this entire article. It's basically like your Chrome suggestions. It's basically like if you go to google.com and if you type is North Korea blank, and it will just try to give you automatic suggestions. That's what basically Firefox is trying to do. Okay, next one is Proton VPN. They brought up new servers around the world. So now they have a total of 61 countries, including Philippines, Vietnam, Cambodia, Egypt, and Niagara. And now they have all of that stuff. So if you are using Proton VPN, now you have more choices to route your services. And yeah, that's basically the entire story. Okay, once again, Windows 11 story, how to enable DNS over HTTPS. If you do not know, DNS is basically a domain name system. Okay, that's basically a phone book for IP addresses. Okay, so it's an IP address book. So if you need to go to a website, let's say google.com, how do you go there? You ask your DNS service provider and you ask them, hey, what's the address for google.com? They'll reply you back with an address. You go to that address, bam, your work is done. Now, usually DNS requests are sent over HTTP. Okay, that's the normal hypertext normal protocol, which is not secure. Okay, but now there's a new protocol, which is DOH or DNS over HTTPS, which just means that it will now be more secure to make DNS requests. Okay, so nobody on your local router or on your local server can see what you are actually trying to get. Okay, so that's basically how you do it. In fact, how you actually want to enable, there's a very simple solution. As it says, you just go to your settings, your network and internet, you go to your Wi-Fi settings, and then you check if IPv4 DNS servers are encrypted or not. Okay, and configure DNS server assignment is setting to manual, and make sure you check up that box. You can read if you want screenshots and all that stuff, you can read this article if you want. Another and our last Windows 11 story, I promise. There's this really good tool. The tool's name is O&O Shut Up 10++. Basically, what this tool actually does, it's going to remove telemetry, like all the information that Microsoft tries to send back from Windows. It will remove a certain annoying things. It will disable Cortana by default. I don't know why would anyone use Cortana. But yeah, like Siri and Bixby are better compared to Cortana. That's how I hate Cortana. So you can disable her using this program. It's not open source, but it's free, and a lot of people actually support this thing. So I would actually recommend them. They are in different languages as well. But yeah, all it does is you just download the software and you can disable a lot of settings which Windows won't let you disable. Okay. Do not try to disable something which actually breaks, so only go for the recommended section. Okay, do not disable your camera and then the next time you go on Zoom, you cannot access your camera. Okay, so don't blame me. I do not take responsibilities for this, but just letting you know, there's an option. Link will be down in the description as well. Okay. Fatima, are you back properly?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, that's one software for you. The question I had for you was, why do you still use Microsoft Edge? Is it because it's default and you are too lazy to switch? Or is it because certain websites don't work? Or what is it? Why do you use Microsoft Edge? Tell us.
So basically, I still use it because I mean, I actually do not use it. You know what happens? It appears itself. Like I close it, but it opens and like multiple times. So I was just like, okay, let it be because I was closing and it's opening. I had no choice basically.
Okay, so basically it's just like it just shows up after every time. So you're just like, okay, fine, be there.
Yeah.
You just click on a link and it just opens up in Edge.
Exactly.
Okay, fine, fair enough. You know what? That's one of the issues. Microsoft makes it so difficult to change your browser. So yeah, fine, as long as you use your normal browser, Brave browser by default, which you should.
Yes.
Also, guys, if you are having ads on this video, just use Brave browser. Okay, I'm not getting paid by YouTube, so I'm fine if you just disable ads. So yeah, I don't have to endorse YouTube. I mean, I need them, but that doesn't mean I have to like them. But yeah, okay, I have a few questions. We have a question answer segment now. I asked a few people on my Telegram channel, like if they have any specific questions. So one question is by Ria. She was asking, if I'm using Brave browser, is it okay for me to keep using Google as my search engine? Fatima, what search engine do you use? Do you use Google? Do you use DuckDuckGo?
I use DuckDuckGo.
Okay, see, that's good. Okay, good stuff. Okay, guys, Ria, to answer your question, if you're using Brave browser can do so much only to protect you on the websites, on the different websites, right? It might protect you from, it's basically a secure browser. It will not give you ads. It will protect you from ads. It will protect you from JavaScript attacks. It will protect you from trackers. But it's the same as like if you're in incognito mode or private mode, if you log in into Google will know every single thing that you search. Okay, so I would not suggest using Google search with Brave browser. It's fine if you do, but it's not good for your privacy. Okay, if you're looking, if you're someone who values their privacy, if that stuff matters to you, it matters to me. But yeah, remember, Google will not hesitate to give your identity if a government asks for it. Okay, if a government, so recently there was this case, and in the case, what happened is a government basically asked Google to give results for whoever searched for a specific building. Okay, so it was a very serious case, and like whoever was searching for this building has to be like one of the like thieves, and like it's an entire story. I'll try to link it down, but Google gave that data. Okay, now even if you're searching for that building for research purposes, now your data is with a government agency, and now you are a suspect in a big case. Okay, I believe the story was something about a girl who got released, like who escaped their kidnappers, and the police, like the thought process was whoever is searching for this girl, it's obviously kidnappers who are trying to find her again and all that stuff. But let's say you're just trying to research. Let's say you are a journalist, or let's say you work in some news outlet. Maybe you are working for your school paper, and let's say you just want to know about that girl because you want to put that story, but now you're a suspect in a huge case. So yeah, I'm just letting you guys know, Google will not hesitate to give your IP address or something. Okay, so yeah, Ria, I hope that answered your question. The second one was also, while looking for good quality camera phone, does megapixel count matters? Short answer, not exactly. 12 megapixel, I mean, Google phones, Google Pixel, they have like a 16 megapixel sensor. They are one of the best cameras in the world. So megapixel count doesn't matter. Samsung has a phone which has 108 megapixel. Guys, it's by default, it takes 12 megapixel photos. Okay. It does not matter as much. Yes, more megapixels means more information, but let me remind you, it's more about the processing that goes behind a camera. It's also about the sensor size. It's also about the shutter speed. Megapixel is not everything. Mind you, I have a DSLR camera, right? And it's like an expensive DSLR camera. The amount of megapixel on that is 26. If you're wondering, it's a Nikon 5100D or something. Sorry, that's an old one. The recent one I have is Canon 6D Mark II. You can search it up. It does not have 30. It does not have more megapixels than 30. Okay. There are Samsung phones, there are Oppo phones, there are Vivo phones, and even Redmi phones, which have 108 megapixels. That's just a gimmick. That's just a number. That does not matter. iPhone has 12 megapixel, and literally iPhone 13 is literally the best camera system on this earth at the moment in a mobile. Okay, so I don't think camera megapixels does not matter. So yeah, moving on to the next question. Ishan had asked, after compromising so much, is it worth really in terms of data privacy or security? So actually, Fatima, I wanted to ask you this question is, what's your take on privacy? Do you value your privacy? Where do you stand on the privacy and security? I just wanted to know your thoughts.
So basically, of course, that's important for me. But I'll be honest, what I have always thought is that, I mean, now who cares about like what is in my Instagram or whatever? Till now, but now I actually do care, not because there is something to hide, but because that's my space and I want that to be private just for myself. Maybe that's the main and the first reason. And what about the privacy? Before, I thought that it actually exists, but now I do not. I mean, even if you are changing your passwords multiple times or whatever, that is reducing maybe actually the percentage of being hacked and increasing the percentage of being private, but still it's like not 100. I'm not sure, just my opinion.
Okay, that's a fair assessment. I believe Ishan is okay. Whoever host I bring up on live, they have the same opinion apparently, but I actually do not think that's the case. I mean, yeah, I mean, we talked about this last time, but yeah, it's fine. Your data is out there, right? There's nothing you can do anymore. But once again, it matters in a lot of way. A lot of people like to say that I don't have anything to hide. Fine, check my data. I don't have anything to hide. I'm not a bad person. I'm not a terrorist. I'm not a some thief, or I'm not one of those people. I'm a really good person. I don't have anything to hide. Go and check. But that's the same as saying that you do not respect your right to freedom or your right to speech because you don't want to speak anything. Like, I don't care about my right to speech because I don't want to speak anything. But that doesn't diminish the fact that there are other people out there who want to speak, right? It's just an example. Like, it's as you said, it's more about your personal space rather than not hiding something, or maybe hiding something. And there are times where you might have to hide something. It could be your like, say, personal information. It could be your personal events that happened, or it could be your personal medical history. Okay, no one needs to know that. Now you might be thinking, oh, but not everyone's gonna know, only the government is gonna know, right? Well, that's still bad. As we noticed, governments can also get hacked. In fact, governments get hacked all the time. Data breaches happen in governments as well. So your data eventually, even if you trust Facebook, you shouldn't. But even if you trust Facebook and you be like, Facebook are like these amazing company, you trust Facebook with your life, but after the data gets breached, you don't know where your data is going to end up, right? And the more you try to minimize its like there is a curve of diminishing returns. Like if you try to do something, it's like that 20%, 80% thing, right? That 20% of the effort is gonna matter like 80% of the change. But yeah, the more and more that you get involved, I think it is a good thing. I think privacy still exists. I think it matters, not because you want to hide something, but because you just want your own personal space. So that's my stand on it, Ishan. We have had a long discussion, but you put up the question. I had to discuss it. But yeah, one last question is how Tor is better for privacy and what are the merits of Tor? Akash, Tor is a really confusing topic to get into live right now, but Tor is really secure. Basically, your data goes through 3 layers of encryption. It's called the onion routing. Onion, because, well, your data goes in layers. Okay, onions have layers, right? And Fatima, you hate onions, right? You don't like onions? Okay, so basically that's what happens. Your data goes through in different layers of encryption and security, and that's how your, like, the first, like, there are 3 different nodes. Okay, so your first connection does not know what the data is. It just knows where you are sending the data. Your second connection just only knows where the data came from, but it does not know who sent it. Okay, and that's how the onion routing works. I believe it's a very secure thing. It's not 100% secure. Just be, obviously, if you are on the dark web, do not give out your phone number. Do not give out your email address. That's obvious. Okay, that's, if you get hacked on the dark web, it's not because Tor is not working. It's because you were doing something stupid, which you shouldn't have. Also, for people who are thinking, oh, dark web, deep web, and all that stuff, isn't that illegal? No, Tor is not illegal. Tor is just it's a routing protocol. Okay, it's just an onion routing protocol, and Tor is something that journalists and activists and people who like use every single day, and it's, I believe it's a really good source of security and privacy. So yeah, that's the last question. So yeah, once again, guys, if you are still here, you are basically just watching a video. It's not live. But for people who are saying hi or bye in the live chat, I cannot know. I'll just say hi and bye to them. I'll try to chat when this video is premiered. So I'll make sure that this video is published as a premiere, as a live, so I can maybe chat or interact from my phone. But yeah, that's it. This is Estudely FNL #2 part 2. I'll see you in the next Estudely, which is on Friday. Okay, a few links to all of my stuff is will be in the description. We have a YouTube channel. This is where you are watching the video, and we have a Telegram channel as well. So make sure you go and join our Telegram channel, and you also join our discussions group on Telegram. We also have a Discord server, link in the description, and that's it. Fatima, do you have any final words to say to our viewers?
Yeah, and like the first word will be, I guess, that I actually learned a lot. And after this, I'll just go change my passwords, stop using browsers like Google. I mean, I don't use still, but like the Microsoft Edge, I'll try my best to close it so it doesn't open, like no more. Yes, please.
Microsoft Edge is Chromium. It's based on Chromium. It's the same thing, just saying. Chromium, Google, Microsoft Edge, same thing. Even Brave is technically a Chromium browser, but it has more features. So yeah, that's all.
Okay, so thank you for clarifying. You see, I again like know one more new thing. So that was actually interesting, Aman. And I guess thank you for recording this video and inviting me as well, because otherwise I wouldn't know that.
Okay then. So people, you can leave the stream. Bye bye. Take care. And I'm just gonna stop recording.